So today we're going to talk about wisdom of the berry patch. This was the first day we picked, and maybe got a handful, and we pick at early for the ripe berries, just so the birds don't get a habit of coming in and picking a lot. They can go to the neighbors and picking their berries. We just got done with the asparagus, and the season is almost matches. The asparagus ends and raspberries begin. The wisdom of the berry patch started a few years ago. We had people helping us pick raspberries, and a saying came out of it: don't pick tomorrow's berries today. It was the first wisdom of the berry patch. It was an interesting comment because it has a whole lot of more relevance to a whole lot of stuff besides just berry picking. A lot of people worry about things that'll come tomorrow, and it stops them from enjoying what they're doing today. Don't pick tomorrow's berries today. Just deal with what you got in front of you. And picking berries, these are not ripe anymore. I think we've got all the ripe ones out, but it's possibly there's a few ripe ones. This one was not ripe this morning when we picked, and it's still not ripe. And a lot of people, when they're picking berries, get excited to see any red on the top, and they forget to look at the bottoms. But when you pull on them, the berry will tell you it's ready. And too oftentimes we pull on things too hard, and in life that makes a mess because we don't get the fullness of the richness of the berries that are ripe today. And so it's a wise thing not to pick tomorrow's berries today, but just enjoy the moment. Teddy Roosevelt had a quote that's I enjoy very much. It says, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think picking tomorrow's berries today is like that. They're not as flavorful, and it doesn't, you just lose the opportunity for the taste. But then again, we don't always pick them all either. Well, it looks like in picking today we missed a few, or no, that one wasn't ripe. It just wasn't tender enough to fall off. So the wisdom of the berry patch started with that, and then the second wisdom of it came. One day I was in the berry patch, and this big black and yellow bumblebee was flighting around in the berries. And I looked at that berry patch, or that bumblebee, and said, "Bumblebee, you can share my berry patch anytime you want to." And it was as if the bumblebee turned and looked at me and said, "Whose berry patch?" And sometimes we forget that it's not about us. We need to get over ourselves and recognize we're part of a world that is a lot bigger than what we are. Another young lady was out helping me pick berries one day, and life wasn't, shall we say, the richest for her. A lot of struggles. And we were talking about the wisdom of the berry patch, and she looked at me, and I turned to her and I said, "Go pick some berries for a while and come back and share some wisdom of the berry patch with me." And she came up with something that was really deep, and I don't know if she knew how deep it was. And it's got layers of wisdom in it. But she said, when I'm looking down at the berries, I miss a lot. But when I get on my knees and look up, I see a whole lot more. And I think there's a real great lesson, multi-layered lesson in that. But one of them is, if you're stuck on yourself, you're going to miss a lot of neat things. But if you're humble enough to get down and allow others to be celebrated, and not just celebrating yourself. There's a whole lot more of life that gets rich. Others have many other pieces on the berry patch. This morning, I was out here in this side of the patch, and we have the tendency to have smaller berries with this type of raspberry. But there's a positive side to it too. They're sweeter. But I've noticed when we have other people picking berries with us, or like in our strawberry patch, they'll pick the big ones and leave the little ones. And if you don't pick the little ones at the same time, they take away from the bigger ones, or from the others getting bigger. And I think that's a lot of wisdom in the berry patch that way too, because there are little things in our lives, if we don't take care of them right away, they suck the juice out of the sweet things in life that we need to enjoy. And so it's important that when there's little things that are dragging or not looking very exciting, you need to pick them too. Deal with them, take care of them. I was out in the boundary waters of Minnesota camping with one of my grandsons, and he gave me a piece of wisdom of the berry patch. I asked him to think about one, and then he has been out there in that berry patch enough that he looked at me and said, you know, sometimes when I'm picking berries, if I get afraid of being scratched by the thorns, I don't reach for the good stuff. And life is that way too. There's a whole pile of things we do in life that we get afraid of, and it stops us from doing the best. Wisdom of the berry patch. If you have any that come to your mind about berries and picking berries and have wisdom of the berry patch, we'd love to hear about it, because there's more out there. But for the moment, that's all I got for today.